guaranteed to every American citizen, which you will exercise every day. These documents, these charters of freedom, make up our foundation as U.S. citizens. I am the grandson of Italian immigrants and great-grandson of Irish immigrants. Using passenger lists here at the National Archives, I discovered that my grandfather, at age 15, arrived in Boston from Naples aboard the ship Commonwealth in March 1903. And my grandmother, Antonia Giorgio, also from Naples, arrived in March of 1909 on the Romantic. Many Americans have stories like mine, and now you, our newly naturalized citizens, will have your own journey to share. Here at the National Archives, we have over 12 billion pages of records. Becoming American citizens make you now part of the National Archives. Your naturalization records will be part of our holdings, and someday your descendants will search our records to discover your history. Here at the National Archives, history comes to life. We house the tangible reminders of where we have been, how far we have come, and what is possible for each and every American. Each record, large or small, is a representation of a greater story, many of which are still being told today in daily life. The National Archives tells everyone's story, and now your story. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Ferriero. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Deputy Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Alejandro N. Mayorkas.
a really tragic situation, regardless. But these are the situations we may see across the city. 720 square miles, the LAUSD boundaries extend here from the northwest end of the valley southward to the harbor area. A city vehicle, that's what we're hearing, struck the individual, the minor down below. Yeah. Go ahead. It's up to, yeah, let's find out what the desk wants. And yeah. 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 Oh, hey guys, I'm sorry. The desk was trying to communicate with me about some other information, things happening across the city, but I just heard that as well. That yeah. Regardless of tragedy, but these are situations that we're going to have to watch for up here with all the kids being out. Thanks for that update, Steve. Oh. All right, what are we supposed to do? Skyfox, go ahead. They were coming to me, and I couldn't hear anything because you guys were talking. Where would you like us to go? Miramar. Well, 110. What part of town? Okay. We'll be there in just a couple of minutes. Is there a charger back there, Vince? Nope. Out of luck, right? Yeah. And
Tú vas a estar hasta después.
No es lo que me dijeron. Antes, ¿ya te confirmaron eso?
No, me dijo Yuri que cuando empiece la conferencia tengo que mandar tu audio porque suena en los dos.
Sí, no, yo la pago.
No la pagues, yo lo mando abajo de aquí.
Lo que me habían dicho es que me tomaban a mí unos minutitos antes de la conferencia y después regresaban de nuevo. Jody doesn't know what they're producing.
Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2,
Nah, fine like that.
check,
I
check,
just put them at home.
1, 2,
It's fine.
2, check, check, everybody good, audio, check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2, let's go, right now.
Well, I could hear that. I could hear my ISP, I could hear it. Check, check, 1, 2, all right, check, check, check.
Pretty good?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thank you.
Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2, gotcha, thank you.
Oye, Richard, si ves a Mónica, dile a Juan que le pregunte si puede estar conmigo en vivo después de la conferencia.
I'm pretty sure he's interim too. I just don't think they've replaced. For another year. I know. It was not supposed to be that long.
Use this one. Mark. Yeah, they want to, no, we disconnected the audio. What? Stand up. They want,
I'm not hearing anything.
you're not hearing IFB?
I'm not hearing anything of them saying, yeah, hey, stand by.
Yes, Stephanie did. Come. I don't know if we can do that. You hear it?
What time is it now? It depends if it happens on time. I mean,
Yeah, you got IFB. You got IFB, right, Mark?
yeah.
Yeah. Mic check.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 2, check. Mic check. 1, 2, 2, check.
Oye, Juan sí sabe que tiene que buscar elementos para su Tiene que buscar elementos para su reportero. Es lo que me dijeron aquí.
Mark. Mark.
Sí, la carne
Mark.
de
What's my wireless mic? Down below. Wow. Underneath my seat.
Hand it to me so I can sign.
Ahí te los guardo. Mira, el microfonazo en la cabeza.
Hey, Mark. You're one. What? 52 is one enough. You can move one step forward to me. Just so, yeah, that's good.
That's good, thanks.
Where in the world am I going to go?
I don't know. What are you going to do? This is the. Oh, I can't see my mic flag now. That's so. Okay, well, I got a chair over here for you.
Se perdieron todos los micrófonos, ¿no? Aquí llegaron todos tarde y arriba.
I hope mine's still there.
¿Quieres sentar acá?
No, es que tengo que hacer un en vivo.
Sí, igual yo. Por eso estoy aquí.
Okay, what? Yay!
So here, what's the plan?
Someone should take a picture, be like the glamorous reporter life. New York is going.
Low, why don't I keep it?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Say it again?
Thank you.
Low. Check to see if our mic's up there. Make sure our mic's up there.
I took it down. Yeah, we saw you leave.
Okay, I'll mention something, then I'll kind of get to that somewhat early.
Leave it there. Go in front of
Leave
me,
it.
man.
We have another one here
Ya
for you.
entraron.
So Jack, step down in case they take that for whatever reason. You're on.
Están viendo a Lolita.
No.
Lolita, dice en el estudio que estás tratando de sabotear Telemundo. Estoy bromeando. De que te ven atrás.
You're fine, sorry.
I'm gonna go behind. I'm gonna go behind.
Your chair's right here.
Erica, give me a mic check.
Sorry.
Sure.
A little more, Eric. 1, 2, 3.
We're just trying to get our spot here, but yes, absolutely can.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Sorry, you're right in my ship.
Sure.
out of this conference room at district headquarters in downtown Los Angeles. But of course, when it happens, we will be here live with that. I do want to apologize, preface this by saying I did not hear Matt Gutman's report, but I do have some new information, not sure if he included this, that the threat, according to Police Chief Charlie Beck, to LAUSD involved attacks with explosives. He said that New York may have had different information in their threats, and he supports the decision made by LAUSD Superintendent Ramon Cortinez. We're going to play some audio right now from Mr. Cortinez during that earlier press conference. And we have heard from district staff within the past half hour that searches have begun at some schools, but as of maybe 45 minutes ago, that none of the schools had yet been cleared. We do believe that LA Mayor Eric Garcetti will be in attendance at this press conference. It is possible that Chief Charlie Beck will be in attendance.
They'll just walk in. They'll just walk in. But the last word, right before I came out here, I asked some of the school board officials out there, and they said still 10 o'clock. They were on time this morning with what they said.
Podium now? Okay, cool. It's wall to wall. Okay. Yes. I do not. I don't know. I've gotten no time cues. Got it. Did you have it? Hopefully we get some clear answers here. Okay. Just Sean to the crux. Perfect. Thank you. You look like you're standing alone. Okay, can you double check with Sean? Yeah. Here we go.
Sure.
I can almost guarantee.
Absolutely. What do you want?
That you know that we'll hear from the superintendent of schools, Ramon Cortinez,
Okay.
as well as the LAUSD chief of and some board members. As we're here at 7 o'clock this morning, they were here when they made the announcement that they were going to be closing the schools. We're also hearing that Mayor Garcetti may be here, and then LAPD Chief Charlie Beck may also be here at this news conference. But we haven't seen
sign of them yet, so it could be a while before this starts. To get back to some of the detail, some of the new detail about how this threat came in. It came in.
Sharon, we're waiting right now just behind us. You can see there's a podium set up. We are expecting LAUSD officials and possibly leaders from some other agencies to come in here at any moment and update us on their investigation into this threat. Early this morning, Superintendent Ramon Cortinas told us that he wanted to close schools, the whole district, out of an abundance of caution, and that sweeps would be done of all the schools. We expect to learn more about the status of those sweeps at a conference later this afternoon. What we hope to learn today is how this kind of logistical nightmare for the district was pulled off. We know phone emails, phone recordings and emails went out early this morning to families across the district, letting them know about this threat and letting them know that their schools would be closed. We know that each of the schools also had a designated point where parents could pick up their students, especially if students had come to school early. And I can tell you that we have started to have a little bit of activity behind us. We do expect to have that news conference begin shortly, and we'll bring you more information on that, Sharon. We'll bring you it live as it begins.
They did not close the schools in New York City. Again, this news conference, we believe, will be getting underway shortly. We're seeing a few people beginning to walk into the room here. It's crowded with reporters.
Here we go.
And we'll be getting the update on, for example, going into another room. The president of the
Hey, can you hear me? Okay, so the superintendent and board members are going into another room just behind the podium at this point. Yes, I'm just going to give you an update. So I mentioned during my live report that it looked like this was about to start. Just behind the podium, there's another room, and we can tell you that the superintendent and the school board president, a number of school board members have all gone into that room, as well as some other leaders possibly from other agencies. So at this point, we're still waiting for this to start. It looks like it's about to begin. Okay, that was school board member Monica Garcia letting us know that this is going to be starting shortly and thanking the media for relaying information about these school closures. Rick and Sharon?
going to take hours and is going to involve a lot more resources than what the school district has. They're going to have to rely on the LAPD and probably
I can tell you that the school board president is here. As I was turning around, I saw the backs of a number of other what appear to be school board members. Also, the leader of the Union for Teachers is here. I have not seen anyone that I recognize from LAPD here at this point. I have not seen the mayor here at this point. Here comes Superintendent Ramon Cortinas approaching the podium now. Oh, here's the mayor.
that had been shared with them. Based on past circumstances, I could not take the chance. It relates to one student or our staff that serve our students. It is important that in the last 4 hours, this city, this community has come together in behalf of our students that are in the regular schools, our students that are in the charter schools that are authorized by this school board. We are taking all sorts of precautions. Our plant managers are walking the campus with law enforcement people. Our plant managers and principals with law enforcement are looking at all of our schools, both small, large schools, etc. We have made sure that our parents are notified through ConnectEd messages, and we have repeated that time and time again. Those students that walk to school, especially young children, neighborhood children, we have had the principals meet and administrators meet them at the gate of the school, and they were not dismissed until parents came to pick them up, a guardian, etc. We are doing everything possible to make sure that children are safe, but that also students and parents understand that the precautions we are taking are done in a calming way, are done in a way that is in the best interest of everybody in this particular city. Not only is it the city of LA, as you know, the school district represents many independent cities, and we have reached out to them also. There are unincorporated areas in this school district that we have reached out to. I have reached out to the Board of Supervisors. I've reached out to the City Council. I've notified the State Superintendent of Schools. I have notified the Secretary of Education. Mainly because there are no secrets. Somebody has sent information that leads us to pause and make sure that we are safe, that our children and our staff are safe. Nobody could be more interested in this city than our mayor. Our mayor and his staff has joined us early this morning, and our mayor is here now. I'd like to turn it over to him.
Thank you very much, Mr. Superintendent. Good morning, everybody. The decision to close the schools is not mine to make, but it is mine to support as mayor of the city of Los Angeles. Since San Bernardino, we have seen whether it was our colleagues there who asked for the help of the Los Angeles Police Department as that shooting unfolded, or this morning when LAUSD reached out to the Los Angeles Police Department and the city of LA for assistance. We are here because our ensure that people are safe in this city. It is very easy for people to jump to conclusions, and I've been around long enough to know that usually what people think in the first few hours is not necessarily how it plays out in later hours. We see investigations unfold sometimes for a series of days, but decisions need to be made in a matter of minutes. I have been immediately on the phone when we learned of this with Phil Washington, the CEO of MTA, to ensure that students could travel free on our buses and our rail lines today, to ensure they can get home safely, to make sure that they are able to get through this city without having to worry, because we know a lot of parents still have to continue to get to work and can't even afford to miss one day. But we are here, Chief Beck and I, was local law enforcement here through LAPD's very extensive and experienced training and leadership that connected some of the dots nationally on this. We of course reached out, and the school district reached out immediately to our federal law enforcement officials who have been extra taxed in recent weeks since San Bernardino, but to bring them into this investigation. But also it was in talking to our counterparts in New York and learning of other places where now we realized this was not the only city to face that threat. We will continue to hope that this is nothing and that our children can be back at school tomorrow. But as a parent and as a mayor, certainly I'm here to support this school district as it seeks our help to ensure that we can look at each one of these campuses and make sure that they are safe for all of our children. And an abundance of caution is something that I think all of us who have children appreciate. So we will be here, continue to be here. We have also activated the city's Emergency Operations Center at level 1, which is our lowest level but constant staffing, to make sure that we can follow this, continue to share any intelligence, work with our federal law enforcement officials, and do whatever the school district asks of us. My number one priority is keeping this city safe, and I will continue to do that. No matter who reaches out to us, we have incredibly well-trained police force And one last thing I would say to the people of LA, whether this pans out as something that could have happened or not, and we might not ever be able to conclude that definitively, I do not want people to say, because sometimes things don't result in a shooting or don't result in a foiled plot, to not speak up and to not speak out. We need to continue to have people, if you see something, say something. Visit iwatchla.com and learn how you can be more vigilant. As we continue to live our lives here in the city of Los Angeles and the values that we hold of freedom, of our liberty, we want to make sure also that we are safe. También brevemente en español yo quiero decir, estamos aquí a apoyar el distrito escolar con esta situación. Como un padre, como el alcalde de la ciudad de Los Ángeles, es muy importante apoyar este distrito con la seguridad de nuestros hijos. Estamos aquí a proveer estos oficiales del Departamento de Policía. Es mi esperanza que este no es una amenaza creíble, pero estamos aquí a proteger nuestros niños y continuaremos con esta misión. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Chief Beck, I'd like to call on you next.
Thank you, Superintendent. Very late last night, the Los Angeles Police Department was contacted by LA Unified School Police Chief Zipperman about a very specific threat that had been delivered via email to a number of the people on the school board. After reviewing that threat, we became very concerned, contacted the FBI, and began to work jointly through our Joint Terrorism Task Force to try to vet that threat and to be able to give the school board and the superintendent our best advice on moving forward. We were able to do that. The superintendent made a decision. We support his decision, as does the mayor. I would say this to people that are critical. It is very easy, in hindsight, to criticize a decision based on results that the decider could never have known. It is also very easy to criticize a decision when you have no responsibility for the outcome of that decision. The school district safeguards 750,000 lives every day. When they make a decision, they have to take into account the safety of the children of Los Angeles. And I think it's irresponsible based on facts that have yet to be determined, to criticize that decision at this point. All of us make tough choices. All of us have the same goal in mind. We want to keep our kids safe. These are tough times. These communities, our community, Southern California, has been through a lot in the recent weeks. Should we risk putting our children through the same? I'm also joined by my partner in law enforcement here, the other half of what keeps the region safe, Sheriff Jim McDonnell, and if it's okay with Ray, I'd love to have Jim say a few words.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Just here to be able to, I guess, add a note of reassurance that we're working very closely together. Once we became aware of this issue, we immediately became in contact. We have co-located our representatives in the Emergency Operations Center, and we then strategically from there start vetting the information that's available to us, working with all of our partners at the federal, state, and local level. We are blessed that in this region we have great relationships, and when we have the need, we come together in a way that I think you would all be very proud of, although we don't and can't really talk about it. A lot of work is being done to be able to run this to ground, and we're working together to ensure that the 700,000 young people who go to LA Unified are safe, and that we continue to move forward with that common goal in mind. So I thank you for your understanding and for working with us as we deal with this very difficult issue. Thank you.
Thank you. I want you to meet the Chief of School Police, Mr. Zipperman, and then I will turn it over to the board president to introduce the board.
Good afternoon. I just want to say again to all of my law enforcement colleagues, Sheriff McDonnell, Chief Beck, Honorable Mayor, as indicated before, sometimes we have to make tough decisions, as it's already been stated. I assure you that our number one priority is the safety and security of not only our students, but our staff as well. We go based on the information that we have, and we collaborate with our law enforcement partners, and LAPD now is taking the lead on this as a result of the threat as a normal protocol. I assure you, as the chief of police of this school district, that while our campuses are having a walkthrough as we speak, that none of our schools will be reopened until not only I feel that we have been given the information through those folks that are out there in the field right now checking each location, but the information that I will receive based on LAPD's continued investigation, based on the collaboration and communication with Sheriff McDonald, Chief Beck, and certainly our federal partners, and then finally the briefing and concurrence with the superintendent and the Board of Education. At that time is when we will make a decision to open up our schools, and we will not do that until we are completely satisfied that we have taken every measure possible to ensure the safety of our students. Thank you.
Board President.
Good morning. I want to thank the mayor, the chief, the sheriff, our chief of police, and especially our superintendent of schools. On behalf of the entire board, and the entire board is gathered here in solidarity with this decision and in support of everyone who is working and has been working through the night to keep our children, our schools safe so that they can return to be the anchors of our community. I want you to know also, on behalf of the board, that I've never been prouder to be an Angelino than I have been over the last few hours. This entire city has come together around our children, around their families. This is not an easy situation. This is a difficult day for families in Los Angeles. This is a difficult day for teachers who want nothing more than to teach our kids and to give hope for the future. But I want you to know that the only thing that is more important to this Board of Education, to our superintendent, to all of the civic leaders that are gathered here today, the only thing that is more important than the education of our children is the safety of our children. And we will make sure that that safety is assured, working together as all of us have. I want to say again to the leadership of our community, our labor partners who have stepped up in every way this morning, our business community, we will need your patience, we will need your understanding, not only for our schools and our teachers, but most especially for our families. More than being employees today, more than any other role, our parents and guardians need to be parents and guardians. So as we move forward throughout the day, we will work with and continue to work with the superintendent, his team, and our law enforcement partners, and we will make sure that we will do everything that we can to help you do your job. And we thank you for keeping our communities informed and engaged and making sure that we will be able to continue with the business of public education in Los Angeles. Superintendent?
I want the media and the press to know that I've instructed Mrs. Haber, the district's communication officer, to issue half-hour information briefs for the rest of the day. So there may be some of them that say we don't have anything new, but I want everybody to know as much as possible. I want you to know we are not going to take questions. This is an investigation. The investigation is not complete, and when the city police who have charge of the investigation decide that information is available, we will make that information available to you. But we will have no comment until then. Ms. Haber, though, will release updates every half hour. Thank you very much.
Don't you have a responsibility to tell people all their kids out of school today, and you can't tell us more about the threat, about exactly what led to this decision? You can't answer any questions.
I'm George McKenna. I'm the Vice President of the Board. Superintendent indicated we would not be answering questions now, but I wanted to say something. This is not a day of wasted time. Students would prefer to be in school, but this is an educational process right now. Students have learned today, and parents have learned how much we value them, how much we value students. This is an educational experience, that they're more valuable to us than any other people in this world. That our children's safety is important enough for us to take this extreme step. We know it's extreme, but we take it with a heart, we take it with the support of law enforcement, and the belief that we're doing the right thing. To do otherwise might be unfortunate. But rather than maybe, we want to do what we know is possible. We cannot divulge everything you'd like to know, and I'm sure we'd be here for a long time with you asking questions. But we will not be able to do that. What we want you to know, to the parents, as soon as possible, we will be back in school. Schools will always be here, and this is an educational experience. Teach your children that we do this on their behalf, not to give them a day out of school. Some of them may enjoy a day out of school, but this is not a good thing. This is a thing that we have to do on their behalf. Thank you for your interest. I'm sorry you are asking questions that we will not ask. We will not answer your questions.
Buenos días, tardes. Soy Mónica García. Quiero brevemente agradecer al alcalde, al jefe de policía, a nuestro sheriff del condado y al chief de LAUSD. Lo que nos dijeron es que están trabajando juntos. Están trabajando con las autoridades locales y federales para analizar la información que tenemos. También tenemos información que en otro momento de la tarde vamos a poder discutir más detalles. Estos oficiales vinieron para asegurarles a ustedes que todos estamos trabajando juntos para la protección de nuestros jóvenes y vamos a tener información disponible más al rato. Otra vez, la ciudad de Los Ángeles, el condado de Los Ángeles, el distrito escolar, estamos trabajando juntos para el bienestar de nuestros jóvenes. Muchísimas gracias.
Let me just say, we're happy to answer some questions. I think that's fair. Hold on. I think it's fair, and I understand the question about the nature of the threat. So let me say something on that and ask the chief to detail a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable question. I think parents and students deserve to know that. Please understand we can't go into all the details of that because of an ongoing investigation, but we should frame that, and people do deserve those answers. A threat made via email to multiple campuses, or all the campuses of LAUSD, was received last night. We won't go into any further detail about who received it right now, but it threatened violence to our students and to our campuses, and implied, that could come in a number of forms of violence, with weapons, and that things were already in place to bring that violence about. That is why I believe the superintendent made the call that he did. Again, we have learned since that we're not the only city that received an email like that, which is one of the pieces we put together. You've heard about that in New York. There may be other places that come out in future hours as well. And that is why there's an abundance of caution of going into campuses to ensure that it is nothing more than a threat. But if it had any credibility here or any place in the United States, especially given about what just happened in San Bernardino, we wanted to make sure that we supported the school district in the mission with the 10,000 police officers we have. I know the sheriff felt the same way, to be able to support the clearing of those campuses and the reassurance that there is nothing there. We can't assume that there isn't until we do that work, which is why it is so critical to do that. I'd like to ask the chief to see if he'd like to add anything to that about the specific threat.
Mayor, could I just ask you a quick question?
Hold on one second. Let me have the chief.
Let's do this in my answer to some of your questions. So, when we began the investigation, we found out a number of things. The email was very specific to LA Unified School District campuses, and it included all of them. It was also very specific about the threat, the implied threat. The implied threat was explosive devices. The specific threat was attack with assault rifles and machine pistols. These obviously are things that we take very seriously. We worked with the FBI to vet this as best as possible. And I think this is the original document was routed through a European country, Germany, but the origin has yet to be determined, and we believe to be much closer than Germany. I'm not going to go into the specifics of that, but suffice it to say that anytime these kind of threats are made against our campuses, given all the school shootings in America, given San Bernardino, we take them seriously. You know, we gave the school district our best advice on this, and they chose a path. And you know what? As I said, everybody has to make decisions in life. Some people, the superintendent in this case, had to make a decision that affects everybody in this city's children and another 100,000 of his own employees. And you know, I think it's irresponsible to criticize a decision maker when they make a decision based on totality of information and based on following their heart and their belief. Okay, you know, you got to do this one at a time. I cannot hear you all.
Knowing what you know now, do you believe this to be a credible threat?
We are still vetting this threat. I will not categorize it as credible or non-credible at this point. You know, as I said, there is work left to be done on this, and we will run this to ground with the help of the FBI, hopefully by the end of the day, so we can make an even better informed decision, or the superintendent and the school board can make an even better informed decision tomorrow.
Would you have recommended to close down the schools? Would you have recommended that? Did you recommend that?
No. That is not my role. You know, I get to make a lot of decisions in my life, as the mayor gets to make a lot of decisions in his life. This is not one of them. My role in this scenario is to give the superintendent and the school board the best information I have, and to help them with that information to make a decision that is theirs to make. It is not my decision. And just like any time I give decision makers advice when it's not my decision, you know, my advice to them is my advice to them, not to you.
You talk a lot about being irresponsible
Well,
schools and private schools.
Say?
There's been a spillover effect to parochial schools, to private schools, to other citizens who might feel their children are not safe. What do you say to them?
Well, the threat was very specific to LA Unified School District, and we've made that well known. Now, if other learning institutions, out of an abundance of caution, want to make the same decision, then that's their decision. You know, these are very high stakes. You know, we're not making a decision about the color of a car or where we're going to eat for dinner here. This is the safety of our children. There is no more important decision.
Well,
So,
I will give advice on that. I think it is important. People can get scared about every incident that happens, and they can get overly scared. They can stop living their lives. They can stop, going out. They can stop going to school. There are prudent moments, but there is nothing about parochial schools, private schools, nothing about universities and any threat anywhere today. So I respect the decisions of those schools. Sometimes they will make those decisions, and again, we will support them no matter what that decision is. But I want those schools to know there is no threat that we have come across against any other schools besides LAUSD here in Los Angeles.
And we'll provide another update at 11. Thank you. Let's walk out back there, please. Let's walk out back there.
You had said a lot about
talk
it's
about
irresponsible to criticize this decision. Is that in direct response to Chief Bratton hearing that they came out and said, this is an overreaction? They got the same thing in Dean.
that's between me and Bill. No, I can't. That would be that's a question for Chief Zipperman, because I don't.